Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Welcome back, you guys. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Wow. I feel sophisticated. What about you? Oh, did you hear that, guys?
Did you hear that?
That was the sound. That was the sound of success. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're back for another fun episode, you guys.
Yeah, we are.
We are dressed up in our all black today with our pearls.
Mm-hmm.
We have our shades on because we're going to be talking about Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote, a true literary classic, which I had never read before. So this was really fun for me.
Oh, yes. I had actually read it many, many moons ago.
Okay.
When I was a very young girl, and I decided to reread it as a full-ass, grown-ass woman.
Yes.
And, wow, I'm glad I did.
My goodness. This
Yes.
is so much fun. I feel so classy.
I know. It's crazy
So
how, like, playing
classy.
dress up, like, really, like, changes your attitude.
Jeez.
Like, I'm like, we could go to a cocktail party right now. Like, it was all, you know that Audrey Hepburn was the muse for Givenchy. Like
I did
that
not
little
know
black
that.
dress that she has on in the movie and stuff like that, and her look, like her. And actually, she would usually when you would see her, like, yeah, she had on Givenchy.
Givenchy. That's just fun to say.
It is, and look at.
It looks nice, sounds
Yes,
nice.
but
It's luxury.
it's amazing that when was that movie made?
Which one?
Breakfast at Tiffany's. Because it's amazing that look still looks good today. Like you could go out dressed like Holly Golightly in that movie
And be
or Audrey Hepburn, and that still
Be
is
a whole
quite
vibe.
a look, down to the cigarette holder.
amen to
I
it.
really would, and that was the thing. Like, of course, drinking isn't cool or smoking isn't cool anymore, but like those cigarette holders were sickening.
I don't see where the year is on here. I have it pulled in the IMDb. Anywho, 1961.
Okay,
Sorry. it took
so
me a minute.
1961.
Yes,
There's a lot of
yes.
looks from then that you can't still wear now and look
no.
chic. But it's amazing how this is still a very good look.
It is, man. I like it. And so I'm excited to talk about it. I wasn't sold. I mean, it being
I had
Women's
to-
History Month. I'm like, we're gonna do a Truman Capote book.
Mhm.
Not that I didn't want to read them, but I really enjoyed this book, and so I'm happy to be talking about it. So, you guys, let me give you a little brief synopsis about the book. In Breakfast at Tiffany's, we're introduced to an enchanting Holly Golightly through the eyes of an unnamed narrator, a writer who Holly fondly calls Fred due to his resemblance to her brother. A country girl turned New York socialite, Holly's past remains a mystery throughout the novella. She's somewhat of an enigma, with relentless rumors swirling about her in the city that never sleeps. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That is our summary of the book today. And before we get into it, let's just do this like we always do, friend. We need to dedicate this episode. So hands over your hearts, everyone. Thank you so much to our wonderful patrons. We truly appreciate you and your continued support for this little ragtag production that we have going on here. Also, today is actually International Women's Day, so shout out to all the ladies out here making the world move and go. Beyonce said it best: "Who run the world, girls
and
Who
women.
run the world, girls
And women.
Who run the world?"
And
People with the
Yeah.
stuff we've got. So
Yes.
so definitely, which is grit and tenacity, of course. Duh, don't be ignorant. And what about you, friend?
Yes. And I want to dedicate this episode to She Leads, an event, the March 14th, this Thursday,
Okay.
from 6 to 8:30 at Speakeasy. It is a ticketed event. You can just come, imbibe, connect, and learn. And it is, the whole thing is for women. So if you're a woman, you should go.
I'm a woman.
You are? You should definitely go.
I should go.
I have to host pub trivia.
It's on a
So I
Thursday.
can't come. It's on a Thursday night from 6 to
Thursday
8.
nights are the worst.
They're very difficult, but you can do difficult things.
I can
We can do
sometimes.
difficult things. Also, a second dedication, sliding in there, doing 2. Wow. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. Definitely going to see it
Really?
again. I put that in one of my little notes Instagram this week.
Okay.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. And I'm definitely the key psychotic.
Can the dedication be over?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what that means.
There's the nerd.
I hate when that happens.
The nerd lore. It's so great.
Okay, but we're gonna stop you right there. Absolutely not. She's gonna. Okay, wait. Let's go ahead. Get it out, friend.
The Bene Gesserit. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's. You just really want to talk about women being in power? Okay, they're controlling the genetic destiny of the Galactic Empire. Like it's just. It's just spice and sandworms and Zendaya and
Ooh, Zendaya. You got me. You got me.
Metaphors. Yes.
I love metaphors.
Like, yeah, it was super great. So, yeah. But back to Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Back to why we're here, you guys. Yeah. So a little bit about the book, though. It's 142 pages, is what I found. So it's not a long book. It's a novella. It's a short novel. First published October 28th of 58, which is pretty impressive, I guess, because only a couple years after that, the Breakfast at Tiffany's was made.
Yeah.
Wow. So that had to be super popular. I mean, for that to happen quickly like that.
Well, you have to remember, this is back when people read books. So, books were like, this is when a writer could be famous. Like he became famous off of
writing.
For his writing. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think, like who's someone who's just famous for writing currently? Right now, the first thing that pops up is Stephen King to me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't think of anybody. I don't like pop quizzes, though.
Sorry, that is
like
fair.
that.
That's true.
Like,
that wasn't fair. I just had that thought, though.
Yeah.
But this was a different time. This
is
pre-social media. This is back when the celebrities were really his swans. You know what I mean? Those were the reality sort of TV stars of the time, where people would look for, bits in the gossip columns about the ultra rich.
Oh my gosh.
Women of New York and high society and Truman Capote. Because really the reason I wanted to talk about this book was it reignited an interest in Truman Capote from watching the FX series Feud, Truman versus the Swans.
My goodness.
And it was just, to me, I was like, you know what? This is a very compelling character. I should reread his stuff. As a matter of fact, let me tell the audience a little bit about Truman Capote.
I think you should.
Thank you. Truman Garcia Capote was an American novelist, screenwriter, playwright, and actor. Several of his short stories, novels, and plays have been praised as literary classics, including the novella Breakfast at Tiffany's and the true crime novel In Cold Blood. He was born September 30th, 1924, and he died August 25th, 1984.
Okay.
And he's kind of what would be known as like a bitchy queen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And we're here for it.
Ooh-wee, man.
Because it wouldn't be as fun without them.
No. Definitely not. They bring the fun to dysfunction. But I was, I was really drawn in. So, like, once I'm like, okay, let me get into this Breakfast at Tiffany's life. Let me see what's going on
Kat
here.
Won't shut up about it.
God, yeah. Like, get on my whole nerves, okay?
It's like, no, you have to.
So here we are. And I, of course, like I said, I usually know at the end of it, I end up enjoying it, which I did. And let's get into the characters in the book. So, or just kind of like a light, I don't know if you want to do a little light sort of.
Well, yeah, it's easy because
it's not a.
Okay, so people should know, if you've watched the movie, you have no idea what the book is about. Like, there is a Holly Golightly, but the Paul Varjak character from the movie, he's just an unnamed author in the book. And he's our narrator. He starts and he's looking at his old apartment building and remembering this girl, Holly Golightly. And he sees a picture of a woman in Africa who looks like her. And it's like, that could be her. You never know.
Be gallivanting.
She was gallivanting. But basically, he's an aspiring writer. He's living in this apartment building, and Holly keeps ringing. She lost her key to get in the building.
She continuously loses her key.
So
because she's a mess.
She's a mess. And so, but he develops not exactly a crush, because it's pretty clear that the author much like Truman Capote, is a homosexual man. And so he doesn't necessarily want to get with Holly, but he does have sort of a crush on her. Like, and so he's just sort of intrigued by her. And
Wait, go back. He's
up?
a homosexual?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you say obviously?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
man,
shouldn't have said
missed
that.
it.
Okay. I should have. Sorry. I should have said it was obvious to me.
Because I'm like, wait.
That the author,
I thought he was in love with the girl.
Well, because he talked about being in love with men, too.
Did he? How did I miss that? So I did read the abridged version.
Okay.
So maybe that wasn't in the part.
Maybe. Like, oh.
So I might have missed some stuff. So this will be good.
So, yes.
Okay, so please, okay.
For me, it
All
was, because you haven't got to that part. And so I think Holly was based on a real person.
Okay.
And Truman is the unnamed writer, narrator in the book.
Okay.
And so they strike up a friendship and he kind of learns about her life. Turns out she is like, from the country, like I said, country girl, moved to the city. She's beautiful. She's 19. She's going out every night. She's basically making her money off of rich men. Like, she's pretty much just a paid party girl. So she's not exactly paid for sex. It's like this sort of blurred line. Like, she was like, we talked earlier about trips to the powder room.
Yeah.
Like, she would basically, because the book's supposed to take place in what, like the 50s or 40s, 50s, something like that. And so she's just going out with these men. And so when she was like, oh, darling, could I have a little change for the powder room? For the bathroom attendant. Like, you're supposed to leave change for them. And the man would give her like $50, which would be, a hefty sum now. But back then,
a lot.
You know what I mean? She probably paid her rent with that.
Yeah.
So, but in addition to that, she's also visiting a mafia don who's locked up. She's paid by his attorney, and she gives coded messages to them back and forth. But she's just also very la-di-da. She's, like
she's
all her
whimsical.
whole attitude is just like, oh, darling, oh, because she starts calling our narrator Fred, because that's her brother's name.
Right.
She's like, oh, Fred, darling, oh, be a dear. And she's always like, blow my toes, they're wet. Like, she's that girl.
Right. Could you put some lotion on my back while my titties are out?
Okay, but a part of it is too, like, she's sabotaging the other party girls, and basically, the quote unquote Fred character is just observing her. She eventually is trying to settle down, find love. She falls in love with this Brazilian dude, gets knocked up. But then she gets in trouble for the mobster stuff, and he takes off and leaves her this like kind of Dear Jane letter where he's just like, hey, because she ends up pregnant because he knocks her up, and he was gonna move her to he said he was gonna move her to Brazil, but he ends up while she's locked up, he's like, this is a great time for me to bounce.
It's like, and
so he leaves her the Dear Jane letter. She ends up losing the baby, even though her Brazilian boyfriend didn't know that. But I was like, damn, that was ice cold. Because he leaves her this letter where it's just like, girl, it's not going to work out, but I wish you luck with your baby and everything.
Right.
It's like,
good luck with the kid. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that was cold. And then she ends up flying. She still had a ticket to go to Brazil. So she's like, I'm not chasing after him. I've just never been to Brazil. So she has our narrator bring her stuff, and then she pieces out. But yeah, the book's pretty much just about his adventures with Holly Golightly and her fabulous. And it was sort of the precursor for Sex and the City.
You were telling me that. I was like, huh.
Even in Candace Bushnell, because I reread Sex and the City I was reading a lot this week.
Okay.
And I re-listened to Sex and the City this week.
Sure.
And in the first paragraph, she references Truman Capote and Holly Golightly. Yes.
What?
Yes, real talk. So, yes, and it's just the idea of the single girl in New York trying to find love.
Okay. Yeah, that was a huge theme. I mean, her unsettled lifestyle was definitely a big part of the book. So what was interesting to me was that, like you were listening to the narrator tell us stories about her life. And so like it's unfolding throughout the story. So he's getting little bits and pieces. And when he found out that she was married before, or that she was technically still married, because she got married to a 50. Well, maybe he was like
An
in his
older
late 40s.
gentleman.
Yeah, he was in his
Older
later
gentleman,
40s.
older Southern gentleman
Who lost
took
his
her and
wife.
her brother in.
Yes.
Because their
He
parents
was
had
a-
died from TB. Because remember,
Yes.
that used to be a thing
Yes.
before, like, healthcare.
Shout out to John Green. He's always talking about that. He always.
Healthcare's great.
Listen, so, but I just thought it was interesting how, I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, he was gathering bits and pieces about her life because she was married to that old man.
Yes, she was married to this old man, and she was 14, and I was just thinking, wow, times have changed. Like
Have they,
14,
though? No, child marriage is still very alive and well.
is it mainstream?
In certain parts of this country, yes. Like, we still have to make laws to outlaw it
That is
because
so
it's still very
sad.
legal. And actually, in most states, it is perfectly legal to marry a minor if
your
they're
mom
pregnant.
signs
If
off
your
on it?
parents sign off of it, and if she's pregnant.
It's like, yeah, she's yours now.
Yeah. Child marriage is still
So
quite
sad.
the problem. We haven't changed that much.
So
It's-
sad.
yeah.
Okay, so it hasn't changed a lot, but
yeah.
she was
'Cause
even.
her whole thing was like, well, it couldn't have possibly been
Been
legal. I
legal.
was 14. It's like,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised.
My God. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So he ends up finding out she was married and there was like a picture, there was a point in the book where he meets the husband because the husband was looking for her. Like
Now,
what
that
took me out?
happens in the movie.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. The dialogue on that was crazy to me
It's
because
like, I tell you, sir, I need a friend.
he couldn't imagine that she would want to leave him. It was like
It was the same way in the movie where he's just like, she's just scared to come back is all. So I just wanted to let her know it'll be okay to come back and she can take, her children, take care of her.
her
and-
children. It's like she was a child. What the fuck makes you think I would want to be here taking care?
He really could not imagine that she would want anything else.
He was like, she can eat every day. She can pick flowers if she wants. I mean, it was sweet in a way, but it was also kind of gross. I'm like, this is
Yes. Yes.
It just took me out because this is like, how delusional do you have to be? Like, you think women are like, we are born thinking like, I can't wait until I turn 14 so I can bust it open for an old man and take care of his fucking kids and. And then he was like, it's those magazines. It's those magazines she's
she was
reading all
perfectly
the
happy
time.
with her life
and
until
that's
she
what
saw
happened.
the
She
outside
started
world.
reading books. And
That'll
see, that's
do
why they
it.
want to be in books because you
is.
get this.
This is what you get.
This is, and I mean,
A bunch
maybe
of
this isn't
mouthy,
what you want.
uppity negresses.
It's like, maybe this ain't.
This ain't what you
This
want.
ain't what you want, probably, because I got notes. But yeah, it was just really wild to me, though. But by the time she got to New York City, I mean, she was, living her best life, I guess. I mean.
Well, that was the thing. That was kind of the tragedy of it all.
Yeah.
And that was the thing because she had a cat.
She did.
And that was the big scene in the movie too, where she realizes like she and the cat belong
to each
together.
other.
So you should know in the movie, her and the writer and the cat like just all end up together in the
What?
spoilers for Breakfast at Tiffany's. The movie.
Excuse me.
I told you it's very different. Like
From 1961, you
because
spoiled
the other
it.
thing that was different in the movie was so the author, the narrator, the guy in the building, his name is Paul Varjak, and he's like a young, handsome man who's being kept by a rich woman.
What?
Yes. And so he finally is like, no, I'm gonna break off on my own. I don't need you paying for my apartment anymore. I'm gonna be my own man and I'm gonna go after this girl. Because at this point, they're both being kept by rich people. So they can't be with each other. But he's like, no, I wanna be with Holly. And so when he's driving her to the airport, she like tries to get rid of the cat. But instead she goes back and finds the cat in the rain. And then they just kiss and then Moon River plays.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Moon River.
Oh, God, I don't know that song.
Oh, that was the big song from Breakfast at Tiffany's. They even played it in Sex and the City when Big left.
What?
To move to California. It was, let me see if I can
See,
find the
you
right
guys
register.
should
I started
read
to
books.
type.
Okay, go.
Moon River, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style one day. I feel like Andy Williams
How do you
originally
know
recorded it
this?
from Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's like the only song that's
Who
in
is
the movie.
Andy Williams?
Moni, you're
no
asking great
disrespect
questions.
to this man. I am ignorant. Okay.
I'm telling
Oh,
you,
yeah.
so this was a huge. Okay, you have to. Okay, at the time, Breakfast at Tiffany's was a huge film when it was made.
My God, yes.
So it was such a big deal. Like, actually, Truman Capote hated it for a lot of reasons.
Oh no.
One of the reasons he didn't want Audrey Hepburn, because Audrey Hepburn has sort of a natural elegance about her. Like, you can't really believe like she used to be a country bumpkin. Not for real.
No.
He wanted Marilyn Monroe. He actually wrote a beautiful short story about Marilyn Monroe in one of his books, something with Dancing with Chameleons. It was something with chameleons.
Yeah, Dancing with Chameleons.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
well,
it's...
no.
No, that was great. I thought I had a friend. No, he loved Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
He described her as a beautiful child. Like he really, that's something that always stood out to me. But he wanted someone, either Marilyn Monroe, someone who would have been a good Holly Golightly, Anna Nicole Smith. That kind of thing where you're like this backwoods
It's
girl
like you're a mess,
and sudden fame.
but-
But like I said, you're a mess. But Holly was a mess.
Yeah, right. So it's perfect.
Yeah,
I can see
he
that.
was like, Audrey Hepburn wasn't a mess enough, but it was still a good film.
Okay.
It still worked.
It's iconic.
It's
at this
iconic,
point, yeah.
and also the Japanese man, Mr. Unoshi. I can't remember. He was a Japanese photographer.
Hold on, I got it in
And
front of
that is one of the worst things in like film history is that character.
Because wasn't it Mickey Rooney?
Yes,
doing
and
that
yellow
terrible,
face,
yeah,
and like fake teeth, and like the cross, like the crazy Mr. Magoo glasses.
Yoniashi.
Mr. Yoniashi.
Japanese neighbor portrayed as a stereotypical.
But in the book, he was just a dude from California, because he actually corrects the bartender. He was like, yeah, because you have to remember at the time we were at war with the Japanese. So there were a lot of anti-Japanese sentiment. So there was like the bartender, he wrote, one of the characters in the book, he wrote as saying like a lot of disparaging things.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, do you mean the guy from California? He's like, don't confuse me. He was like,
come on.
yeah, like, so more than likely this guy didn't speak with an accent. He was just, like there's a lot of Asian people in California because of geography.
Yeah, that part.
So,
Oh my God.
he was just like, that was one of the things that wasn't great about the movie, and it doesn't really add to it. But there were a lot of really great things about the movie too.
Yeah, I mean, well, but for its time though, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you're gonna watch
It was pretty
the movie
bad
now,
for its time though.
was it still? you
Yeah,
think?
like they did it on purpose to be offensive. Like, and they were just like, no, it's funny. And it was
like,
just
nah,
like, please
this
take
ain't
this out. They
funny.
were like, no. Yeah.
Really? They tried to get it. He didn't want it in there?
No. But like I said, he's not a Hollywood executive. He's a wrtter.
Yeah,
Writers don't have
exactly.
as much
Oh,
powder.
that's true. No, yeah, they're gonna
like
do what they want.
He didn't get final cut.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I think for him that was like a kind of a disappointment. Like it wasn't his vision of what Breakfast at Tiffany's was.
Aw.
Because it was called Breakfast at Tiffany's because the Holly Golightly character would talk about the anxiety that she would feel. She called it the mean
hot red or the
mean reds.
Hot red.
The hot reds. I think that's a candy.
Red Hots.
Red Hots. There it is.
I'm such a black person.
Yes, you are. What a negress.
Red Hots are great.
But yeah, she would just talk about how whenever she'd get that feeling, she'd go to Tiffany's and it would calm her down.
Right.
and
Well,
stuff
because
like
what
that.
can happen to you bad at Tiffany's?
It's
That's what she
just the
said.
dignified look of the place and everything. And she really, I like the part in the book where she read a story he wrote and she didn't really have anything nice to say. And he
That's
was
boring.
like, well,
she was like, it's about Negroes and children. She was
Who
like,
cares
nobody
about-
cares about that shit. I mean, she wasn't wrong.
She
Nobody
wasn't.
cared about
She
it
wasn't.
except for actual Negroes and actual children, the people who love them directly.
Who cares about them? Yes. So to me, that was like,
Duh.
wow, that must have been an actual conversation he had with a bad bitch.
You know it was. He was like, huh?
Oh,
Okay.
ooh, you a heartless creature.
Oh, wow.
But yes, but to me, it's interesting that Truman Capote did have an eye. Even he himself being a white man, but being a
Yeah.
gay white man, he knows what it feels like to be on the outskirts of acceptable society. So
Absolutely.
it's interesting that he kind of had an eye for that. But, while he, felt away after she
I'm
said
sure.
that. So he was like, well, give me an example of work that means something.
I
that is
love that
good."
too. When it's
That was
like,
good
I wanted
scene.
to smack the shit out of you, but
Right, because she brought that up too.
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
was
I know
like-
you wanted to hit me.
she was like, I felt the
I
vibes
felt
of
that. I know what's
domestic
up.
violence. Yeah,
But and she said Wuthering Heights, and he's like, well, that's not fair. That's a work of genius. She was
Yeah.
like, I know. I watched it like 10 times. He was like, oh, you watched the movie. And
didn't
then she
read.
immediately was like, hey, don't do me.
That's
Like,
what it
yeah,
was.
some people don't feel like reading.
Hello, that's why we're here, guys.
I break stuff down for the people who don't like reading. But like I said, like I can only imagine there's a big difference between the book and the movie Wuthering Heights. I'm sure they're both
I'm sure
great.
too.
But actually, I've never watched. or seen
I'm
either.
shrugging my shoulders. Like it sounds like a.
I mean, it's
it
supposed
sounds
to be
like white
a-
people by the water, sort of vibes. If I just had to guess, like if I'm just,
I think they were like by the moors of Scotland or something. Like it was not the moors, but like what
aren't
was
those
the
black people?
No, there's like there's another word for it. I can't think of it right now. But like yeah, there is this imagery that's supposed to be very but
2 Mile Hollow, shout out to you.
yeah, too much, very
That's
too much.
given-
Yes,
it's
but it's
given
about
that.
Heathcliff and some chick, like their whole love affair thing.
Right, it's probably
maybe
great.
we should probably read it. It's one of the
Maybe, yeah,
classics. I don't know,
absolutely.
but basically, it's very funny that was in the book, and that it shook out that the movie version of this book is so very different.
Oh my gosh.
From the book. Like to me,
Wild.
it's funny how he kind of even predicted that a little bit in the book.
Right.
Truman Capote was a very intelligent person. That's probably why he drank so much.
Yeah, it's like this
To
is
be
terrible.
like, all this thinking sucks.
A lot, yeah. Bless his heart. I mean, well, and so do you think Breakfast at Tiffany's a metaphor for the emptiness of just like material life?
Yes, I do think it is.
Because I kind of felt like that. Well, because if you think about it, I was like, okay, so she, like the main theme for her was kind of like trying to find home, right? Like she was getting away from, her parents die, she marries this dude, she's striking out on her own to find her place. Like the recurring thing was like, okay, like I'll know what it feels like when I'm home finally. You know what I'm saying? And I think you play yourself with that sometimes because you're waiting for it to feel like something. Like you said, it's always, we were saying this in maybe the Patreon, how happily ever after isn't like a final destination. It's a constant journey. It's a constant thing. It's always happening. And so we tell ourselves stuff like, oh yeah, when I finally am able to hit these marks, when I'm finally able to get
When I
to
make
these,
this much money,
then I can live. Then I
Yeah.
can start living. And it's like in the meantime, though, you're not present. You're not enjoying, the thing. So that's what made the scene with the cat so powerful because it was like, damn, we do belong to each other. It's like I don't deserve to name him. I don't deserve to claim him as mine because I never made any promises to him. He never made any promises to me. And she felt like that about most people that she came across. She just was like, you don't fall in love with wild things. That's your bad. You know what I'm saying?
that's on you.
Don't do that.
I mean, it's
Don't
funny
do
because
that.
I mean, we haven't brought it up in a while, but
Are you gonna talk about pimping? You about to put your glasses on and
put my
silky
loafs
pimp?
on, and
God
yes.
damn it! I felt
Holly
it coming.
Golightly knew what the game was.
She did.
And it was pimp.
It
And
was-
the name of the game is pimping.
all day.
And it was kind of sad because do you think she was really in love with the Brazilian dude?
It seemed like it.
And that's what was super sad because she was like, yeah, I'm ready to give up my life here, go live with this dude, have his baby. She's like, I'm ready to do this. And then to come to find out, he was like, yeah, baby girl, it turns out
The game
Daddy
just
was
played
pimping.
you. That
Yeah.
part. And that's what happens though. That's
yeah,
exactly
when you play
it.
the game, you can lose.
You can lose, and that's the reason why it's important to consider about like how far in the game you want to be with it, because at the end of the day, it always happens like that, right? Like it'd be like you're holding out for this person, and then you get to that person, and then they are like, "Yeah, I could have a V8." You know what I'm saying? Like I could get out of here. That's an old ass reference, but yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna move on. Yeah, super old. Yeah. We're old.
But yeah, I think yes, I think it was sort of that metaphor
I was
of
like,
this deep desire to finally find your place. I was trying to put myself in Holly Golightly's shoes because I've never been on the brink of starvation. Because in the storyline, you find out when our narrator's talking to her husband,
Yeah.
or maybe we call him Doc. His name is Doc.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Doc, and he was talking about when he first met Holly and Fred and how they were just super skinny. They caught him stealing turkey eggs.
Damn.
And so, they were like, hey, you guys can stay here. And he was like, they got,
He was like,
fed
how old
up
are you
and
again?
stuff. Yeah. baby girl. Yeah, let's see what you're working. But it sounds like a big part of her. It sounds like she was a beautiful girl, but she was also just very effervescent and fun and funny and curious.
Yeah.
Like she had this great personality, and then realized she was like, I want to explore the world. I want to know like my place. When she realized like her power and how she can like, you know, this is the amount of chips I can throw into the game.
Right.
And she's like, and it's not nothing.
Yeah.
So so she was like, I'm gonna, you know, go for it, because you think about what she was able to do, because she had the opportunity to be an actress. Like she had an agent.
She's like, I don't want to work that hard.
That was wild. She was like,
but that's so honest. It's
was
like you should love it because it takes a lot. And I don't want that.
She was like, I don't want to be trotted out like a show pony.
Yeah,
basically.
I just want to.
Like,
I'm gonna trot my own. Right, like if I'm
just
gonna
trying
get
to
dressed
live.
up.
She's like, is it crazy that I don't necessarily want to do anything? I just want to go out at night and with the other bad bitches and talk about
And what's wrong with that? I asked.
I don't see you know what I mean? Like let her live. Like there was nothing. Like to me, I liked the highly Golightly character. You know what I mean? Not to say like not every moment of her. I didn't like that part when she was like, nobody cares about Negroes and children.
Like,
that part was a little like, girl, you probably do need a spanking. But
or just
just to be like, you know what, you were a child once. You know, like it would have.
But also, I noticed what's interesting about that, she made that statement, but then when she was describing the man she was in love with, she was like, yeah, I think maybe has a little Negro in him or something. And she was like, but I don't mind. She said, I can imagine like our kids with, like describing them with, and I thought just like a
what?
Person who.
A wonderful woman
who, it's like, it's interesting the things you care about when you care about them. You know what I'm saying?
And
you pick and choose
like,
the stuff.
We threw in millions of dollars. Because he was like a politician. He was a Brazilian politician. Let's get it real.
And let's talk about Brazil's history. Y'all know about Brazil's history.
Do they
Y'all
know?
are smart.
Because are we taught it? Can we talk about Brazil?
One
of my favorite stories about George Bush Jr. was when he was president, because this is just how dumb he was. This is so irritating about how mediocre you can be as a,
president.
As a certain type of person in our society and how far you can get. The C-student ass dude went to Brazil as president of our great nation. And as the president of Brazil, do you have a lot of black people here? And then he was so dumbfounded. And so for people who don't know, Brazil has the largest population of black people outside of any country in Africa.
Wow.
Okay? So yeah, Brazil's got some Negroes.
It's like,
and it's like, how did you get to this job? Wow. It would be like, I can't even think of how stupid. Let me think of something someone can relate to. It would be like asking,
chef.
Who's a famous chef to be like
Chef Ramsay?
Like Chef Ramsay. Do you know how to scramble eggs? You know what I mean? It'd have been like, that is such a stupid thing to ask.
That's when you knock everything off the counter.
I wish I had time to think of a better example. But
it's
yeah,
fine.
it's pretty stupid. But yes, my point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of black, that is one of the main places they drop black people off during the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
Oh, you know what, a fun fact? Did you know that the transatlantic slave trade actually changed the migratory patterns of sharks? Because they figured out that if you follow these ships, because when they would either try to lighten the cargo or when people died, they would throw the bodies off of the side of the boat, and sharks figured that out.
How did we get here?
All roads lead to slavery.
How did we get here?
Because you're talking about Holly Golightly, because she was engaged to a Brazilian. Brazil had a lot of slavery, and slavery required slave ships.
Ding.
That was the connectedness.
All right.
That's how we got here.
And around and around it goes.
And around and around it goes. But yes, the slave trade went on for so long that it actually changed the migratory patterns of sharks.
I did know that, actually.
Oh, cool.
I did know that.
Cool.
Okay.
So sharks can tell you about
Wow.
slavery.
It's
It was great for them.
And another thing.
And another thing, because it was a very easy meal. Oh, because that was Skin of the Sea. Did we read that?
We did read Skin of the Sea.
Because part of that
Natasha
was about
Bowen. Shout out to you.
The people who were thrown overboard, and there would be
the
sharks.
Mamiwata.
There'd be sharks
they
that
come
were,
sailing.
and then the Amiwata would come and rescue them, and try to guide their souls back so that they'd have a peaceful death.
That's sweet to
It
imagine
is.
that for our ancestors.
It is. That's a better reimagining than what
It
really
is.
happened.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's see. Other points about Breakfast at Tiffany. So racial stereotypes, we talked about that already. The portrayal of gender roles, I thought that was an interesting thing. We kind of talked about that with Holly. I mean, she was definitely going against the grain when it comes to, because we talked
She slept with 11 dudes
in her
before
whole
she got married.
life.
What a slut.
She didn't count the abuse before she was 11,
And
though.
I think that's fair,
She
because
was
that
careful
probably
to
wasn't
mention that.
consensual.
It definitely wasn't. So it's
And for
like, I
people
don't
who
think
are
that
like, well,
counts.
she had big titties, she could give consent. No, that big titties aren't consent.
That gives you consent in your mind. That's it. That's how that works. Like, that is not real.
Yes,
And
I
that's
don't
really,
know
really
why
terrible.
human development works the way it does. It would be so great if we developed like at 25.
Oh my gosh.
But-
Along with our brain. That'd be
Along with our brains, but no, we develop like a full 15 years.
great. It's like,
before.
yo, you're going to get all this stuff. You can build humans and everything, but just, be careful out here.
So much time to wreck your life.
Yeah, be careful out here, though. Wowzers. Let's see. I mean, I put depictions of gender roles, attitudes towards sexuality. I mean,
Well, because this is the thing, you had an abridged version. So
I
was
did.
the so did you see the part where when she was getting arrested and she called one of the arresting cops a slur for a lesbian and that woman punched her?
yeah.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, but she also
was
did
crazy.
you read the part where she was telling her roommate that she herself was
Yes, she was a lesbian.
yes,
But the slur
but
word
she
for
was
it.
also saying she's like, but everyone is a little, and that is something interesting that you really wouldn't have heard too much in
Back
a
then.
novel. Yeah, like I was like,
No.
huh, that is oddly sort of modern.
That was very right. Kinsley Institute.
yeah.
Spectrum of
Yeah,
sexuality and all.
Like she definitely didn't conform to the societal. But here's the thing: I don't think anyone in any period of time has really conformed to that. People fake it, like have a front fest a lot of times,
if you will.
But
Then you have. I mean, like,
to
not that you
survive.
have to,
Because to me,
but it feels
survival
like you have to.
was I was gonna say, to me, survival was a big thing because this is a person. I've never been on the brink of starvation. I was telling you earlier, my childhood was a series of delicious meals brought to me by a variety of baddies. Like that
Shout
was
out to the ladies.
shout
here.
out International Women's Day. Like I look
Listen.
back and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I was surrounded by all these beautiful and intelligent, talented women who were just making and bringing me food all the time.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's what life was.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it
and
should
then
be.
I grow up to learn it's like, okay, now you are one of
You
the
must be the bad bitch, and I have knighted you with the spatula, bitch. Get to it. Pop that. Yeah.
get to it.
Get to it.
Because we're done.
Yeah, and we're hungry.
And we're
so.
hungry.
You're like, what?
It's like, guess what? We're going to Panera.
What? Oh yeah. See, I figured that out quick. That's what. Shout out to my mom. She handed me that spatula very early and was like, "You're gonna need to get on in there and start
Get-
popping that thing."
It's called
I was
ass
like,
movement.
What? Right. It was like, oh
Let me out. Get me out of here. But yeah, but for Holly Golightly, that was not her upbringing at all. So she was like, oh no, you got to get out here and earn. If
Yeah.
you want the good things in life, you got to.
That's what she wanted too.
But also that idea sort of props up patriarchy, I think. The idea that, because the way she was getting money was like, you have to please these rich men if you want to get
Yeah.
the stuff you want in life.
That's true. And I mean, yeah, they're the gatekeepers
Because that was
of the good
similar
stuff.
to the feud. You said you watched the first episode
I
of Truman
did.
Capote's feud.
You guys, I'm not okay. I mean, the first episode, within the first 10 minutes, I had to like push pause. I was like, yo, I'm sorry, what?
And I was like, that's people for you. And you know what? I don't know how mad I am at anybody in that story, except for Bill. Fuck Bill. But like,
I just thought to myself, yeah, because you can't underestimate what people are gonna do.
and
You
how
know what I'm
is
saying?
your
And putting
dumbass- You're dumb. You
So
are
listen.
the head of a network. How are you this stupid?
because you get to be. You get to be.
Right, just
And
like
so,
George Bush, where you can go to Brazil and be like, you got any Negroes here?
It's like, y'all got black people around. Yeah, so not to get all into that because we might need to just do a dedicated episode to that or something.
To what?
Feud
Oh, I'm
or
for it.
pitch or something like that at some point. So we won't get all into that.
Yeah.
But know that it's good, and maybe you guys can watch it, and by the time we do talk about it, you'll have. You know.
And also, because where did you listen or read Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh, I listened to it
Where?
on YouTube.
Okay, so that's what I did too.
But it was the abridged version, though. It said that on there.
Okay, no, I got the full one.
I didn't even.
Bull.
I had already started listening to it before I realized. No, it was
Oh.
at the end when it said the abridged version. I was like, what? I'm
been
like, too
damn
late
busy.
now.
But it is
Pretty
still
much got
short,
it.
though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got it. Like,
'Cause it was just like a 2
But like,
hours.
yeah, you can listen to it for free on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it won't even take up your whole day.
Was it the BBC version?
I don't know.
Mine was like a really highly dramatized, like crunching the apple, making the sounds. Like it was.
Oh no, mine had.
It was good.
It might have been a little music, but it was just the one guy. who
Oh,
was,
okay.
like-
It was just the one guy, but he was
Okay.
like doing all the voices,
Did he do the
all
Japanese
the accents.
voice?
Yes.
Because that's the thing too. Like the way
Yes.
the book is written, the guy doesn't have an accent,
Mm-hmm.
so that's not necessary. He's from California. I feel like shout out to all of our Asian listeners who
I
everyone
know.
just expects you to have this Asian people. I remember watching Mythic Quest and kind of being like, oh yeah, I guess there are like Asian people with Australian accents.
Yeah, and Jamaican accents.
Yeah, like
It's
'cause,
wild.
do you ever go to Patty's by Jamaica?
Not usually. But
Oh man, because there's
there's an
a
Asian person there
with
with a Jamaican accent.
yeah,
Okay, I like it.
yeah.
I love the
Them
contrast
patties
of
are
that.
good,
It's
man.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put treatment of mental health. Like I was just thinking about the stuff that maybe doesn't translate well. You know what I mean? Because
It was a long. And,
it was a
yeah.
long time ago though. But I
Mm-hmm.
think like if you're reading this book, I just know it's from the the 50s, so it's not going to be
It's not
up
gonna
to date
be
in
PC.
dialogue. No, it's not.
No.
But I like that because I like getting a snapshot of what it was at that time. Like
Yeah,
it
the
really gives you a
realness.
really real like
Yeah.
sort of image of what was going on. So I don't know, man. This was pretty darn good. I think maybe we should take a quick break though, and then let's regroup and then come back, guys. Okay,
I'm into it.
We'll be right back.
Boom.
So welcome back, you guys, from the break. Man,
Wow. Whew, you guys should go to Patreon. I'm gonna put part of our break in Patreon. We got deep.
it was some good stuff, friend.
Talked
Some
about
good stuff.
Prometheus,
We did. And the meaning of life.
the meaning of life,
Or
the
no
lack-
big deal,
or the lack thereof.
or the lack
however
thereof.
you want to feel about it.
My gosh,
You might as well enjoy yourself. That's why I'm so glad you suggested we do a podcast.
it's so much fun.
That was such a good idea. You are full of good ideas. Can I say
you,
on this
friend.
International Women's Day,
Yes,
you
you
are
may.
quite the snazzy,
Well,
like intelligent,
I mean,
beautiful
if
woman
you
from a
must.
long line of beautiful women. I've met them. And I mean, yeah, you are definitely worth their sacrifices.
well, I should hope so, because otherwise, I'm so sorry.
Wouldn't that be a sad?
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
that
like
be
I'm
so
sorry.
sad?
Sorry. Yeah. So you guys, this book was really. It's a classic. I see why it's a classic. I'm glad that you recommended it.
Thank
This
you.
it was fun, and it's crazy how this story is, or even just the author Truman Capote, being such a compelling character. So many conversations, like we're having so many side conversations, just based on his work. So I don't know if there's any other points in the book that you wanted to hit before we rate the book,
I didn't actually.
or is there anything we skipped over? Like let's.
Probably so.
We did. We get.
But I'm okay with
excited.
it. Life
Okay.
isn't perfect.
It's not.
But I would strongly suggest if you can read the book, read it. And I mean, watch the movie, but just with a grain of salt. Just know that
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I think it's a good thing to watch. I mean, for nothing else, the fashion.
Oh, the
and,
fashion.
You know, it's pretty
and
iconic.
Watching Audrey Hepburn, that's why the whole reason I got into it was because I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's. I think I bought like a used copy of the VHS at Blockbuster.
Not Blockbuster.
And
Blockbuster
video.
video
Wow,
store.
what a difference.
Is that what they said? That was his theme
think
song?
so. I don't know.
That was
I
it.
could be
I
wrong.
don't
Some
know.
stuff just gets in there.
Okay.
But yeah, I watched that so many times. That and Mahogany. I would watch that probably every weekend because I was a child of divorce, so I spent every weekend at my dad's house.
You watch
and it would get
Mahogany?
bored sometimes. I'm an indoor cat. I'm not doing too
I've
much.
never seen that.
Mahogany? Oh, that's the next one.
I've seen visuals from it. Same. Like, I remember she looked beautiful.
Success is nothing without someone to
Wait,
share
that
it
man
with.
was in there. Wait. Billy D. Williams?
I said wait. I'm a disobedient woman. I'm sorry.
Damn
I
it.
love me some Billy D. Williams.
Billy
That was
D.
one of the first men to make me feel feelings. Because he was Han
Williams.
Solo.
He's like, you made me tingle it down.
Oh, when Lady Sings the Blues, also with Diana
Okay,
Ross and Billy D.
okay,
Williams, they were a
okay.
great dynamo team. He came in that
BDW.
cream suit
Let's
and
go.
that cream. Oh my goodness, it was just like so smooth. It was just like,
Not
ooh.
Billy D. Williams. Can he pop up right now? Do you think
Yes,
he
I
can
love
manage
me
that?
some Billy D. Williams.
My God.
Yes, but he popped in there and he was like, Tracy, success is nothing without someone to share it with. And then that song for the whole movie was Do You Know Where You're Going To?
I remember that song.
Do you like
Are
the
you gonna
things that
sing it?
life... I could.
Dun.
Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to?
Sleep.
Do you know?
I'm going to bed.
Do you get what you're hoping for? Yeah, in the same way that Moon River was the
Okay.
whole song
That was
for
the song.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. So those would be my weekends.
Okay, shut your mouth.
That and Lady Sings the Blues until my dad recorded over it.
I felt like we were watching Ninja Turtles and
Ninja rap.
What else were we watching?
Ninja Turtles was
House Party.
oh, that was rated R.
Well, you said at your dad's house.
Even still,
Yeah,
like
I wasn't paying attention.
he wasn't, but like I don't think I could have gotten. That was didn't
Could've
it have
got away with
titties.
I don't remember titties. I have to ask my brothers. You know, I think
They
the
would
guys, they
know.
always remember. It's like,
They
I
would
remember
know.
it was
They'd have the
23 minutes and
timestamp.
36 seconds in, and she titties. Even my husband be talking about,
I don't know what you came to do.
it probably was titties. I think there was, the grandma was watching like a pornographic film in the movie, and she was like, watching that ass.
Watching
And
that
it was
ass.
like, wow, Granny. It's like, Granny, what are you doing? Watching that ass. It's like, Granny, you're gross. Okay, I don't feel good about this,
the
Granny.
90s.
My God,
But
yeah.
yes, Mahogany is a fantastic.
My
she was a
God.
fashion because I was like, she's a black woman who goes to be a fashion model in Italy and then becomes a fashion designer. That's what I want my life to be. And it's Diana Ross. I
wasn't up on
love
it.
Diana Ross.
Wasn't up on it.
I always kind of like. I mean, I don't think I look like her, but that's a lot of times
It's like,
people
you're
we
brown and
consider.
you have an afro.
A lot of times, people who we would consider white. That's the
like,
celebrity
you know-
they associate with
You
me.
know who you look like.
Because a lot of times I have very big hair.
And then they have to brace you for it. They put your
Yes,
hand in
you know
shirt. Do you know who you look like?
Is it Diana Ross? This is a black person you've
You
heard
just
of.
put your lips up right. It's Diana
But I
Ross.
will say, I remember when I first was working at Lafayette Square in Montgomery Ward, and like the older white women would come up to me and tell me I looked like Drusilla from the stories.
Yeah, and you-
They weren't wrong. I did kind of look like Victoria Rao. My mom definitely does.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
could be
Y'all
kin.
cousins. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's not what
Okay,
this
they
is
got it right.
about.
It's not. We went off on a tangent. Guys, let's rate the book then, friends.
It's 5 out of 5 Givenchy gowns.
Ooh. Givenchy. I'm gonna give it I feel like I can't give it a perfect score. I don't know why.
I mean, there's no consequence.
I know.
I'm not going to be like, it's like, well, I'm done for being friends with Moni.
You're right. I'm out. Right. Episode over.
I quit the podcast.
But I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I don't know, martinis. It just kind of goes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it just kind of goes
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was
Definitely worth your time.
because his writing though is so descriptive. It's so poetic.
He's a good writer.
He's a good He's a good writer.
That's the reason
So
we're
the
still
writing
saying his
is
name.
yes, Truman Capote. That's him. He's your man.
Maybe you know what movie I've never seen? His biopic with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, me either.
I think it got some awards and stuff. It was like a big deal. He ended
Okay.
up dying, I think, the year after it came out. I
Really?
think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's bunches of stuff about him on there. You know what I'm saying? On
He's a fascinating figure.
Yeah, my goodness. So yeah, it was really, really good, and I enjoyed it. I would recommend you guys reading the book. And like I said, it's
Especially
easy.
if you like the
and quick.
movie. Seriously, if you like the movie, you'll love the book.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. So, let's spin the wheel, friends. Spin it.
Ooh, so next week we will be reading.
Yay. We are going to be reading a book by Quinta Brunson. She memes well.
That is kind of how she got famous.
So
Like,
cute.
what
It
was her
was.
famous meme? I
It
don't even know what
was.
it is. I just knew
We're going to
her-
find out next week, friend. We have so much
You know
to
where
uncover.
I discovered her from Black Lady Sketch Show.
Oh.
That's when I really discovered her. And then they would mention her a lot on The Read.
Quinta is adorable.
She's the star
And
of Abbott
Abbott Elementary
and creator, I believe.
Yes, writer. She is.
It's a love letter to her mom, who was a public school
educator.
teacher.
Oh my God, how beautiful is that?
It is. And it's much needed because for people who don't know, there is a concerted effort to destroy our public school system.
Yeah, which is really sad.
It is, because education is the cornerstone of a healthy democracy. And I would say we don't have a healthy democracy right now.
No, y'all see
and
it
a big
crumbling.
part of that is the erosion of
Y'all
the education
see
system.
it crumbling. Don't
So,
act like you don't.
Yeah, please read books. You don't have to take our word for it. Did you see that?
don't have to
LeVar
take our
Burton,
word for
they're
it.
doing a documentary about reading Rainbow.
Yeah, it's called Butterfly in the Sky.
Well, do you think we'll talk about it on the show?
You're damn right. First of all, I would love to have LeVar Burton on our show. I would love to speak to that man. I would
like
love
to have any kind of interaction with him
I
respectfully.
mean,
I know
you
he's
said
he's
any
married.
kind of interaction.
I mean, but
Is
I'm
he
just
married?
he is married.
Okay,
so
don't
I'm
do-
trying
don't
to
do
keep
that.
respectful.
For sure,
But-
ma'am.
And did you also
sir.
see there's going to be a Freaknik documentary on Hulu?
Yo,
We definitely
them
have to
hoes
cover
are
that.
scrambling. They're scrambling. They're lawyered up. Don't you dare show my shit on there. I got kids now.
Listen, and how'd you get them kids?
This is the reckoning. I feel like this is the reckoning from the past.
Do
All that
people
shit's coming
understand,
out.
like, the way you become a parent? Like, I don't think
Listen.
anyone should ever be surprised. It's like, my mother was sexual? It's like, yeah, that's how you got here, dum-dum.
But it's just hard to think about, and no one should have to. So she memes well. I think this is going to be a really great book for Women's
Yes.
History Month. I'm excited to get to know her personal story.
I
She
feel
is
like
so
I'll like
cute.
it.
I love her so hard. So
Oh, it's got a good score on Amazon. 4.7. That's good.
4.7. Yeah. So I'm excited to read all about her and kind of get her perspective. So that'll be fun digging into that. So you guys, hopefully you'll join us next week. If you aren't part of our Patreon family, you guys, what are you waiting for? Hit up Patreon/The Fab Podcast. Our episodes drop every Wednesday. If you are a avid listener, please share our podcast with other people. This is how we get the word out, you guys. I mean, we're not like actually selling anything. We're doing this for free because we love it, and we hope that you love it. And then when you love stuff, you should share it with the people that you love. So it's a love fest, if you get my drift.
It is. And
So,
also check us out on YouTube. If you like listening
definitely.
to us, we made a real effort today.
Listen,
You should at least see our tribute
See the
to
lipstick?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Pearls
Let me
on.
put the glasses back on.
Put
I'm
'em
gonna
back
end it
on,
with the
friend.
glasses.
Okay, I'm gonna poof my poof.
See how cool we are?
Listen, do you guys see?
See?
Do you?
Do you see? Because it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's
but it's
not.
okay.
It's okay.
We can do hard
none of
things.
this is easy.
No.
Doing this podcast isn't easy, but it's
No.
fun.
It's fun, and we hope you enjoy it. And so share it. And you guys.
Oh, and your body belongs to you.
Your body definitely belongs to
So
you.
don't let anybody shame you for it. Have you heard this stuff about like big back energy? Did you see that thing where Charlamagne was saying that about the Reese's girl who it's like I don't know who I married, or I married a stranger or some shit like that. The chick on TikTok who was doing the stories about.
Yes.
Okay.
Who the
What
fuck
was
did
her
I
name?
marry?
I keep saying-
Risa Pizza or something like that.
I
That's
don't-
like
that's-
her.
yeah.
It's like Reese's Pieces.
But like,
you know,
yeah,
it's not.
apparently like they were trying to be like, well,
Shame
it's
her 'cause she's
given.
big.
Well, they were. Charlamagne hadn't seen her, but he was saying it was giving big back energy. basically, which is, I guess, the new colloquialism for shaming larger bodied people. And I love how the read got them together.
Did they?
Yes, that was that was Crystal's read this week, as if only big girls get played. Because I was about to say,
please, let's be
like,
for
I
real.
was like, can I tell you?
It's like, I got
We
a
are
story
all
for you.
rowing the same canoe. Let me tell you, you could be working out every day.
Don't matter.
And it does not matter. Like,
I got my hair and my nails
I still
done.
get surprised by how much people are willing to lie to you to play you. So, like, her story is getting a lot of traction. She's telling it well, I assume. I haven't paid any attention. I'm
Bitch,
never
I
surprised by
can't.
how
First
much
of all,
people-
what I don't have is a 50-part series in my future. Okay, I can't. Girl, I might have give you 10 if it was really good, but I
Also,
don't got it. I
this
don't
is so
have it,
random, but
love.
have you listened to Trevor Noah's podcast?
I've
Now
listened
What?
to, yes, I've listened to 1 or 2 episodes so far.
I just discovered it and just listened to the most recent episode where he's talking about Diddy. I didn't know he had Josh Johnson on the show. I love him.
Who is that?
Joshua Johnson is a stand-up comedian. He has a nice following on Instagram and YouTube.
Are we
So
following him?
Hmm?
Are we following him?
I don't know.
You should
I
do
know
that.
I am,
Okay.
but I'll make sure we are
Okay,
because he's
'cause I don't know who you're talking
super funny. He's a stand-up, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't know he was doing a podcast with Trevor Noah, who I'm also a
that
big fan
seems
of.
on there. Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know who that was.
So, yeah, we didn't talk about Diddy today, but I mean, you guys
On the Patreon a little we did,
yeah, on
so
the
join
Patreon.
that.
So, like, yeah, if you want to hear our opinions on Diddy, you
My
can hear it
goodness,
there.
man. We're gonna pull up the legal documents and just go through all the points. That's what
I
we
don't
need
know
to
if
do.
I can.
Well, I will, and you'll have
okay,
to sit
thank
here.
you. You can just tell me about it because I'm
girl,
like,
here's what had happened was. Yeah.
can I just say that I didn't know.
And I'll watch you wither as I tell you the detail.
I remember. Oh, at some point we got to read Superhead's book too, because I remember he was in Superhead's book. Yeah. Nothing crazy though. Like she never
Okay.
messed with him.
That might have been for the best.
She had some stuff about Usher though.
Okay. So with that, you guys, we're gonna get on out of here. You guys, be a part of the things that you love. Be around the people you love. This is it, guys. This is life. So participate in it or die.
It's not really gonna
Those
get
are
any
the-
better.
Nah,
This is
like
kinda
it's this
it.
or nothing. So I would just recommend having fun. Okay. Bye.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezene M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.
All right, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Racial stereotypes? No. What time is it? 9:57. What time are you leaving in the morning?
8.
Okay. Oh yeah, you.
But I don't have to drive. But I do
Oh,
have
that's
to
right.
pack.
Oh shit.
I'm just gonna buy
Throw
some
stuff in
underwear.
the bag. It's like I don't think they're clean. Fuck yeah. You should travel with new undies anyway. I always like getting new underwear.
Yeah, I need some brand new socks and drawers.
I'm already thinking about the outfits that we're gonna wear when we go to see Cache graduate in Atlanta.
I know that's right. Can I tell you, I'm already thinking about the outfit I'm gonna wear to watch DeAndre graduate.
Yeah, you have to.
And it's gonna be
and
all
when is
red.
it? Because I want to be there. When,
I'm gonna ask him that when I talk to him next week.
I will definitely make that if you know.
And then I'll
if
try to
there's a
make
reason
sure
I'm
to
not.
because we'll do like a celebration.
Right. I remember there was some. Yeah.
It's so fun. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my mom because I want to do the party at her clubhouse because they have a nice pool.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, would you be on that? She's like, because she'd have to do a thing. She'll have to go talk to the people because she doesn't have the.
It's like I'll go talk to them.
No,
Or
it
you
has to be
can't-
hers.
I know,
don't
like
live there.
with them. I know. But,
Yeah, but still, it's like a.
Oh my
she doesn't want to do a thing.
But wait, doesn't Annette live in the same place?
Yes.
Can't you ask her?
I can.
You don't think she would?
She would.
Yeah, she'll
It's
talk to
just-
people. It's like you're my mom. This is your grandchild, right? Well, listen, I'm about who can I go to who's gonna get this shit done? Because I ain't got time to be fucking around with you. Because that's coming up in May, and I need to know, so I need to be planning.
That's
So
true.
you-
Or it could be June though too. We can
June-
party
June,
whenever.
yeah.
He'll be here.
Well, it's
He'll be
coming
done
up.
with school.
It's coming up, friend.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You need some more?
No. I'm gonna go ahead and I did that last swallow.
Okay.
And I still have to, oh my God. Because like Shannon, this would be, you know what? I'm just going to visit Chloe. Because my daughter and Shannon, they just always want to do stuff. And it's like, I'm on
Like what?
vacation. Like, they want
Me and Chloe are chilling. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah. Like
That's
she
how you
was,
do
she's
that.
like, I want to go shopping and get my nails done and da 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 da. And I'm
And
like,
Shannon's like, okay, me too. And they can go together. That's perfect.
and then show it off at church. I'm
Yeah.
like, how about I don't do anything and don't go to church?
Show it off at church. Oh, they're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it.
They're
no,
gonna love
I'm like,
Yeah, when you go pick up your drawers, get you a hat.
I don't want to be here.
I've been saying that. You were the one talking about hope and shit. The fuck? It sucks here. Every day it's just like, I mean, and I don't think that like I'm a
and I try not to be too
depressed
judgmental
person.
because it's like, I would be that if it weren't for like.
But I mean, like, right, if you're not riding a wave of serotonin, I think some people have drugs and then some people have Jesus. I think that it kind of taps into the same sort of, or you just, your
That
brain is just made.
dopamine,
Yeah, like
the
because,
receptors.
right, because to think to yourself that this happened to your loved one and there was no, it wasn't any, it was just, and it
a
doesn't mean
fucking
shit.
ball.
It don't, it's like it just fucking happened. There was no real.
During the American pastime.
Yeah. And yep, his life has changed now. And
I remember that happened one time at Amber's preschool. She went to Open Door. It was like a Baptist daycare off of like Coast Spring Road. And I remember because they
Not
have
the
more
Baptist
recitals. It was
daycare.
great. But I remember they closed down because they got sued because during recess, one of the kids was blinded with a Frisbee.
oh shit.
And I remember thinking, I'm like, well, that's not really the school's fault. Like,
But this is America.
you know, what can you do? Like, shit happens. Like,
This happened on your
Gravity
watch.
is
If
very
my kid wasn't at school at this moment, then this wouldn't have happened.
and it's like, so we outlaw Frisbees now?
Yes.
What do you do?
Fucking yes. Burn them all. Just like the books. Throw them in the
It's
pile with
just
the
such
books.
a random event. Like,
It
you
is.
just got hit just in that moment. Just how random life fucking is and how
Yeah.
powerless we are.
And I think that's terrifying to people. And it is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It's
Like,
super
so
terrifying.
scary.
And it's like some people just, because, and I will say that I do feel like sometimes people who believe in God to that extent where they're not questioning nothing. They're just like,
I'm in God's hands.
yeah,
I'm protected
all
by
that-
angels. I'm summoning all the angels around me for protection.
that if we applied that to just our belief in our own ability to sustain ourselves, that would be really powerful.
Like in
you know
Star
what I'm
Trek.
saying? It's straight up.
That's what happened. Yeah, like in Star
They
Trek,
sustain themselves with
was a-
their own. What?
Well, that was the point. Like Gene
Was
Roddenberry,
it?
he was very adamant about there's no religion in the future. So that's why Deep
Okay.
Space Nine was kind of pushback on that because that was one of the first.
Really? There was religion in it?
Yeah, the Bajorans. The
Oh.
Bajorans were very
Gods or demigods or something?
Well, they were worshiping the wormhole aliens. They called them the prophets. So the way they kind of got around it is that they weren't really gods. They were just pan-dimensional aliens.
Of course,
that
duh.
weren't, confined by time. They could.
Of course. Pan-dimensional aliens not combined by time. I was going to say that. But of course,
But the
those old things, yeah. Go for it.
But like that was the whole point of Deep Space Nine because it was like the first black captain in the Star Trek. And so
they put religion on him?
Well, he was actually conceived by one of the wormhole aliens. Like he
Oh, so
is.
he was like
it
a
was
god,
very
like-
similar to Dune,
Jesus
where
Christ?
it was like a series of genetic planning of architecture to create sort of this messiah figure. And which was Cisco. He was the emissary. So the Bajorans sort of worshipped him in a way. He was always very uncomfortable with them because he's from Earth where they don't do this shit. Yeah. He's like, look, y'all,
this
just
is weird. This is
I don't have any kind of destiny. I just went to school. It's fine.
Right. I read a book or two.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It was, but yeah, that was. But this was after Gene Roddenberry died when Deep Space Nine came out. So that's why they were able to do it because he was always very adamant. There's no religion, no religion. But you know, they got around it by saying, well, this alien civilization, obviously they would still have religion. Okay. But they were sort of the Jews of the Federation because they were
the chosen ones, if
they
you will.
They were occupied by the Cardassians. And they had to fight to, like, that was, you know, the emissary was the one who was supposed to ultimately bring them. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's very, very, like I said, it's very epic storytelling and stuff like that. But yeah, but yeah, the idea that, you know, the faith to sustain you.
Yeah, I think it gives you a superpower.
It just always fell so short. I was always just so unimpressed by it. I'm like, this can't be the ultimate. Like, this is obviously, this has human fingerprints all over it.
Yeah. And then some people too, if you think about, like, I mean, you were a well-loved person. Your life was very whatever. You had everything.
Like I said, all the bad bitches just bringing me trays of food all the time.
Yeah, and it is funny because when my mom tells me, like, how her kind of beliefs started, she was always like, man, you know, I grew up in a time where you didn't question adults. Like, what they said was like law. And she was like, and for the longest, she was like, I was such a naive person. And I didn't think to question anything. Like, you just believe the stuff that people tell you. You just believe what they tell you. And there comes a point where, you know, like, if you're bred to be the kind of person that doesn't really ask questions and you look up to authority,
and you're lightweight beaten if you do.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm like, literally and truly.
You literally have it beaten out of you.
Yeah, like, so, you know, there's that working. But then she was always like, man, when she started learning about God and stuff like that, she was like, I observed my parents and how imperfect they were. So it made me feel better to think that, like, oh,
there is a perfect.
Thank God, literally.
There is some perfection
because
somewhere.
These two yahoos of her.
This ain't it.
I don't know what's happening over here. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just funny the reasons why that connects with certain people. And so I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. How, you know, that's with those two, how that's comforting to you because it's like everything seems so out of order. She's like, this shit is not regular. This is not how stuff, because I mean, my mom grew up in a house with domestic violence, and my grandfather was extremely physically abusive toward her. And, you know, she got some licks in or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I just think that, like, when you experience that and when you know that that's the truth, like, maybe it does. Like, I think we're, you know, it's the story we're telling ourselves. Like, we want to tell ourselves that it's like
there's a purpose.
And some of that could be meaningful and important in some ways, I think, in terms of hopefulness. Because when I think about, like, you know, you have Star Trek, you have your, you know, there has to be something pushing you toward, like
there
maybe
will
something
be a future.
Yeah, so like
to
if
me,
it's
what I didn't like about the religion is, like, you don't have to worry about the future.
And you're a non-factor almost. Like, it's already written in the stars. It's done, and all of the stuff we are doing now is ancillary to the main situation. It's like, like, I don't like how it lets you off the hook, but I see how it can be useful. Like, there has to be some sort of God in your life as far as, like, what is important to you. What do you, you know, what makes you hopeful for the future? What gets you doing the things that feel impossible, like you said,
gets you out of
whatever.
bed, because sometimes people do give up.
They do, and I think some people, like,
and like I said,
you know,
it's
the
crazy
idea
how
of
people
God,
be like, I can see that.
Yeah,
just give it up.
Just 100. I can totally see it.
Totally see
the
that.
only
like,
thing
it's like,
is,
not getting up today.
I could give up easily, but it's just like the repercussions of the giving up is what I it's so distasteful in my mind that it's like, I just don't like being homeless.
I'm gonna keep going. I'll give up. There'll be a point when I can rest, and that is death.
Yeah, and I'll just wait for that, and
that's the thing
I'll just take sleep for now.
I think a part of the religion too. One of the things that is very enticing, and it's what Voldemort was after, which is you don't have to die. You don't have to die for real.
Yeah,
which is.
I don't think we die for real anyway. I don't think. I mean,
totally.
yeah.
But like
this
as
is gonna
we
end.
are right now. Yes, this can't go on forever. It doesn't need to. Like
that's
the
all
thing.
I'm saying.
Like I don't think that me right now as I am is so damn important that it
needs to
not
keep.
end
We gotta keep
forever.
it going.
This can't stop.
Yeah.
Because you think about like
it's weird.
when you look at like old timey pictures, like real old stuff, like people weren't as attractive. Like
They were stressed.
that's what I'm saying. Like the progress. So I imagine as time goes on.
Said they weren't as attractive. Maybe because they weren't smiling and stuff. They weren't brushing their teeth real good
Here's
either.
the thing. Even in the paintings, like
Oh yeah, they were ugly. But I mean, if are you talking about European paintings?
I'm
Some
just
people
talking
were
about
ugly.
across the globe. Like we've improved as a species over time.
Okay.
Like I said, like we're
take
not done with it, but we are on the road to eradicating child marriage. Like I said, like
We're on the track.
We're on track. Like I said, I think we are improving. So the wanting to remain as we are right now, as enticing as that is, isn't good for human progress.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm willing to be a cog in the machine of human progress, knowing that fully means just like every cell in my body is going to die and shed. But it plays its part.
Yeah.
You know, and in the same way, like I've got like all these cells right here. I don't know who they are, but like I
know
need you.
Yeah.
I can care about you as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like I don't know your name.
Little cell guys.
Yeah, and your life is so short that I
Yeah.
couldn't even get attached to you. You know how
Yeah.
quickly your cells was it 24 hours? I
I
don't know.
mean,
It's something like that.
hoes be
But they
slothing.
might, for all we know, they have a full life and
I'm
experience
sure they do.
and everything.
They should do a short, like an animated short
in
about
the same
that.
way that if there is a God character in all of this, that's probably how it's experiencing us.
Oh, 100%.
You know, where
It's
it's like
not
it doesn't
like-
hate us or love us.
No, that's what I picture. I just feel
but
like
maybe
it's
needs
a
us.
yeah,
Like we're just if we stay healthy, it's like don't be cancer, okay?
right,
Could
right. Just don't do
everybody
that. Let's participate.
Don't do cancer.
Yeah, we don't want
So
that.
we can stay, so I can, keep
Enjoy this
going.
for as long as I can.
Yeah. But this idea of like I have a cosmic destiny, I don't know about all that, but I'm part of this. I'm in here.
A cosmic destiny. Yeah, that's a lot for right now.
It is, but
gotta
I think
think
that's
about
what
that.
people want.
Yeah, because I just think it just feels sad to think like you're just
Is that all there is?
yeah.
Yes, that's all there is.
Where did that come from?
Sex and the City.
Oh, what?
Well, not really. That was that's where I heard it, but like Nathan Lane was playing that gay guy who married Muffy
at that party.
Yeah, because the gay
the
dude.
shoes?
No. Not when the shoes got stolen. This was when she met Berger. And they were in the Hamptons for that
about
wedding
Berger.
where Nathan Lane he's a gay Broadway dude.
Okay.
And he married this like rich socialite woman and everyone was like, what is going on?
Beard.
But he was at the piano bar and he was saying, is that all there is?
Yeah.
It's a famous Broadway song or whatever.
It
But
is.
like, yes, that's all there. He's like, one more time for the cheap seats in the back.
This is it, y'all.
Yeah, I think that's
Better
why.
enjoy
I
it.
think
Don't
that's
wait to
why
live because this is it.
That's what I'm
Period.
saying. Like this is, like I said, like don't wait until it's like, oh, I have this much money and I have this much status. Trust me, whatever level you get to, you find out there's another level above that.
Yep.
And then the top level is Elon Musk. And do you want to be like that dude?
So Feud is taking me out because of that. Because I already see where the fuck he's going with this. And I'm like, my God. And it's like what we agree to participate in and to what level. And it's like, wow. It's like how Black Mirror makes me feel.
yeah. I think Truman Capote would have loved Black Mirror. I think
He would have loved it.
It's so crazy because I'm like, damn, we
should have
lived
been
at the
here.
same
You
time.
should have been here,
He
Truman.
died when I was in kindergarten.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hate
so
to
there
see it.
was, and the fact that, because he's very similar a little bit to the Rick character in Rick and Morty, which is why, Rick drinks. He's hyper intelligent and just too aware of his
like,
insignificance.
I can't do this. Yes. And you know what's funny? That's not an argument, but it's a debate or ongoing discussion that my husband and I have all the time about, he's on the side of like, we mean everything. Like we're ultimately important because we get to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yes.
We're the chosen ones, but we're also a piece of shit.
But it doesn't mean anything specific, though.
Except to us,
which is important. But also, I'm like, so, okay, stay with me.
Okay.
Take yourself out of yourself, though. Pan out to the fucking universe, yo. And then look at you. What the fuck does it mean? Like, what the fuck?
But that's what I mean. I don't need to have cosmic significance.
What does it mean?
It's enough to me that I mean something to you and my
it
little
has
daughter.
To. That's just it.
Because that to me was always the question to me that a lot of people would ask when it comes to like the NASA space exploration. And they'll be like, are we alone in the universe? And to me, that was always an oxymoron because you're using the plural, pronoun, we. So how could we be alone? We
are already with
CMB.
Company.
We all we got.
Wait, are we back? This is great.
No, we're not back. I'll have to chop it up. I'll put it in the Patreon and stuff like that because that was some gold. But yes, we are not alone because we have each other.
Oh, that is nice. And I guess that has to be
like the question, am I alone? Now that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, you are. Okay.
But are we alone in the universe? No, we are not alone in the universe because we have each other. We don't have to make contact with whatever made this.
I'm too scared to. I don't want to. That's the other
I
thing
don't think
too.
it
I don't
cares
need
either.
to.
Did you ever watch Prometheus?
No.
Do you care about spoilers?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Because it's in the
I don't like the name.
It's in the alien universe.
I just don't like the way it sounds.
Prometheus is a god.
I don't care.
You don't like gods now?
No.
Gods aren't good enough for you?
No.
Uppity
They
Negroes?
never have been. Swerve.
So Prometheus was the god who was punished for giving human beings fire.
Oh, yeah, he was tripping.
So Zeus cursed him. And so every day he had
herpes?
his liver eaten by like a vulture.
So
and then it would grow back.
My daughter knows about this.
Okay, good. She's getting a good education.
She knows about this. She loves it. She goes hard.
But the movie Prometheus is in the alien universe, like the.
He's not a. Who am I thinking of?
No, he is a god.
I thought he was a vampire. Who am I thinking of? There's a vampire that has ES. His last name is ES.
I don't know. Mobius. I didn't watch those. That's in the MCU. And those are scary to me.
Sorry.
I don't like those.
I thought they were the same.
No, Prometheus is something else.
Okay.
Prometheus. So he's, just in the lexicon of our human, like
lore and whatnot.
lore and stuff like that. He's a big deal. But so it's a metaphor.
Okay.
So, and then in the alien universe, there's this tech billionaire, who is on the search for human origins. He's like, how did we get here? Why is, what
is this and why?
So he finds the engineers, this alien species who engineered us.
Oh.
He actually finds them. And he was just like,
why did you do this? Like,
and then do you know what they do when he finds one of the engineers and he's like, we're here, we found you. What did you want from us? Dude crushes his skull. He's like, ew.
like a drawing you did in kindergarten. You're like, what the fuck?
I would try to find the scene and send it to you because it was wild when I saw it. I was like, yeah, that's probably because to him it was obvious. Like, you look like a cockroach to me, like gross. Like, this is not what. Because what ended up happening is like the aliens. You remember the alien movies though, right? Sure. But basically, the xenomorph it was engineered by the engineers to wipe out humans.
I get it, though.
In all biological life. They were like, do over.
I have to say, y'all know how I feel about this. It's like, this isn't.
But what happened is the AI, because artificial intelligence, because once again,
which comes from humans, so points for us. I guess.
This movie was made like in like the 80s, so even back then, AI was fucking us up.
Yeah.
So the AI David, he ends up figuring out their plan and actually takes the like the goo, the black goo that they used to make the xenomorph. Because David actually ended up engineering the xenomorphs. The goo was what was supposed to wipe people out.
Okay.
And so he ends up taking it and dropping it on the engineer planet and killing all them.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That was in
wow.
Requiem. Oh no, that's the one that's coming out soon. Because there was but Prometheus was it gets mixed reviews. I thought it was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I still want to watch it. I feel like I just saw it. That was crazy.
You're welcome.
That was crazy. Thank you. So well, this is why you guys are here too. We know.
Yeah, but do you have what's the name of the Quentin Brunson book?
It is She Memes Well, I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna have you announce it.
Yeah. Quentin Brunson, She Memes Well. Let me make sure.
But I always like reading these kind of books because it reminds me of the game. It's like, you know what? Fuck these niggas.
Oh shit. Damn, I was expecting that. Ooh, wow.
No, because that's the thing. They will wine you, dine you. I love you. Here's a baby for your womb. And as soon as
I'm out.
I'm
out.
He didn't even leave her any money for an abortion if she wanted to have one.
Nope.
It's like, God damn.
Just
that was the
pimping
was
and
ice cold. It was like, you know what? That was a very fun summer.
Wowzers.
She was learning Portuguese and everything.
She was like, listen, I'm trying to, because she thought she was finding her home. She finally was like, okay,
there'll be horses. I can bring my brother Fred in.
Yeah, he'll be great.
When Fred died.
That was pretty sad.
That was rough in the movie too.
Wasn't okay.
He was in the movie and it was rough.
Yeah, I was like, aw.
But these niggas.
Do you think, does she have mental health issues?
How could you not?
Okay, yeah.
I don't think you can be on the brink of starvation and not have mental health issues.
And then also going into just,
Because seriously, I remember my mom used to get so mad at me whenever I say I'm starving.
Oh, my mom too. It would be like, you better not ever fucking
It's
say
like
that
I
to
might
me.
punch you in the face if you say that.
I will pull up actual
and I've been
starving
like, okay,
pictures.
lady.
Yeah, now you
it's like, all right, I won't say it, but I am very hungry right now. You should know.
Yeah, it's like you're in America, bitch. No.
Like you've never been hungry a day in your life.
Not once. You just talked about the lovely black women bringing you trays and trays of fucking
And now I know that
food,
because I'm like, you're right. I've never.
I don't know what hunger is.
Yeah, I've never truly been in a house with no food or like not been able to. Because I know in the back of my mind, I've never had to actually do this, but I know at the end of the day, if I'm really hungry, I could steal food. You know what I mean? But for real.
I'll steal a loaf of bread, sure.
Yeah, like to me that would if it really came down to it, like I could get some food.
Yeah,
there's food, and like I said, I wouldn't have to steal it. There's food pantries here. Like, there's
you can sign up.
There's
for
just
some
food
stuff.
everywhere you go. But like thinking back to like my grandmother's generation, like in the Great Depression, people did starve to death.
Yeah, they did,
and
that kind of came up in this too because you would hear them saying stuff like peanut butter and cream and sugar, or offering you salt or whatever, because it's like you came from a time where you couldn't always find those things, and those things were like.
Like I said, we're at war.
Yeah, so
like our, agriculture wasn't where it was at. Like it wasn't like it wasn't a point where like now where our problem is like, damn, we getting fat.
Yeah, that's
like
we're having the reverse.
I can't zip my dress up.
I got this computer right here to cover up my
the things,
my situation,
my abundance,
my situation. Okay.
Yeah, I got some excess skin. What you want to talk about?
It's okay though.
But yes, I don't think there's any way you could not be gone through what she's gone through, watching both of your parents die, be on the brink of starvation with your mentally, limited brother.
And teaching yourself how to love old men because that's how to get a bag.
Yeah. Like, how am I going to take his, like, in real life, like, he's got to leave the army one day. I got to be able to take care of him. I got to be able to take care of myself. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be cute and young forever.
I'm not.
You know what I mean?
She's getting an early start. I respect it.
But that was so interesting about Sex and the City, though, just about the women who were just like, I refuse to give up the game.
Man, because I am the game. At this point, they're synonymous. That's
the
wild.
The game doesn't ever stop, though.
And it's like, I'm exhausted, y'all. Like, when do you tap out? And then, like, what's the top, though? Like, I think that's the thing. Like, just watching.
Because, like I said, the people you think visuals, are at the top.
Who's that man that you said you like his visual movie style?
Ryan Murphy.
Like
the Feud guy.
Yeah, the Feud guy, man.
Ryan
and the Pose.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I mean, I feel like maybe I'm being dramatic, but
Let's do it.
it was, no, just, it took me out, though.
What? There's
The
nothing
first
wrong with
fucking
it.
episode. I'm like,
It
this
should.
gave me so much to think about.
It does.
It's
That's good
really fucked
it's
up.
good media.
It was very good. I'm
That's
like,
why I was
God
like, I'm like,
damn.
I gotta reread some Truman Capote, man. He had some,
Oh my God.
he was
I
like,
didn't
look,
know. I
this is
didn't
life
know.
for real. This isn't women's wear daily. Like, nigga, this is
what's
what's real in the field. Like, you can give 30 years of
happening.
your life to a man and he will drop you like a hot potato.
Like a hot fucking potato, man. Oh my God. And
you and your kids. Which are his kids. He don't care. He's like, I got a new
They're
model.
yours now.
I'm in love with
They're
my
yours now.
secretary now. So
Yeah.
I hope you like washing dishes, ho. Like, they do it. The game is ice cold.
it just is.
That's why you got to put your lokes on.
You do, so they don't see the tears behind the shades. You feel me? Okay, well, let's get back to it, friends. Let me get some notes. My goodness.
Oh, and actually,